Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to Breslov campus. We're working now on getting ready for Purim and for Pesach. For Purim and for Pesach. It's a double whammy, Baruch Hashem. We have two great holidays that speak about the salvation of Am Yisrael, the salvation of the Jewish nation. Let's start this week with Purim. And let's understand what Purim is all about. There was a fella called Achashverosh, Asaurus, whatever they call him in English, some 2,500 years ago. And he was a king who had a lot of arrogance and a lot of wealth. And they usually go together, arrogance and wealth. And he flaunted it. He made everybody know. He let everybody know. He forced them to know that he was the master and chief and whatnot. Truth is, Achashverosh really was nothing. He was a stable boy by Nebuchadnezzar. Somehow he married Nebuchadnezzar's granddaughter, or daughter, or granddaughter, Vashti, and he became king, right? And that's usually the way it happens with a lot of the people that we have in the world today. A lot of us go around life, it's not fair, this guy has, that guy has, this guy falls into the money, he marries wealthy, she marries wealthy, whatever it may be. It's a game that people play. The main thing they need is their money. And that's what Purim was really all about at the time. Haman was also like that. Haman is the Purim fame. He's the one who decided to get rid of Vashti. He suggested to the king to kill her. You all know the story of the Megillah, but whatever. It was Haman who requested that Vashti be killed and a law be instituted, and the law was to say that every man should be master in his house, he should rule the house, and if his wife wants to speak a different language, meaning whether it's a foreign language or it's a language that he doesn't understand or he doesn't accept, right, she's not allowed to do it. This was the brain Haman who became the power behind the throne. And this was the brain Haman who was able to tell all the people in the world that you are supposed to be master of your house. Now, Talmud and Medrash tell us that Haman was actually subservient to his wife Zeresh, and that's why he wanted the law instituted. It didn't help him very much, but the main thing you see here is arrogance, haughtiness. I rule, I'm in charge. Haman was extremely wealthy. What is not very well known is that Haman sold himself as a slave to Mordechai many years before. They were in a war together, and Haman had no food. He needed bread. He sold himself for bread as a slave to Haman, which is why Mordechai would not bow down to him. The Gemara tells us that Haman, when he passed by Mordechai, Mordechai would show him the deed, the contract that they had, that Haman was Mordechai's slave. Now, the Rebbe Baruch of Mezhevitz, Rabbi Nachman's uncle, grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, quotes a Gemara. The Gemara tells us, "Hakari as Hamegillah lemafreya lo yotza." Whoever reads the Megillah backwards, he's not fulfilling the mitzvah of the Megillah. You have to start it off with Achashverosh, then Mordechai, and then Haman, and the whole story. It has to be in order. If you read it not in order, you're not fulfilling the mitzvah. Along comes the Rebbe Baruch of Mezhevitz and tells us, whoever reads the Megillah lemafreya means backwards. Whoever reads the Megillah as if it happened 2,500 years ago. And that's it. It's not happening now. He is not fulfilling the mitzvah of Purim. Right? Because if we follow history, we see that every generation we have these characters. We have the Achashverosh, the guy who goes into the kingdom. He's nothing. Napoleon. Napoleon was a serf. He became the emperor of almost all of Europe. Right? And you have many other stories. Lenin, Stalin, where they came from. Right? You have today in America, who was Bill Clinton, who was Barack Obama. Right? Where did they come from? What are they? They're leaders of the country. When President Eisenhower met Nikita Khrushchev, when he came to the UN back in the late 50s, so Khrushchev was saying how great it is to be a Russian, because he was a son of a coal miner, and he became prime minister. Eisenhower told him the same thing. He was the son of a coal miner, he became president. Big deal. And if you look at the destruction that these leaders left on the world, you understand a little bit what it means to be real royalty, what it means to be a real leader, what it means to be someone who will lead his people, like Mordechai, who was not afraid of Haman's bluster. He was not afraid of Haman's lead, of Haman going where he was, being the prime minister of the country, being able to issue a decree to destroy the Jews. That was Haman. We have that with Iran today. That's where Purim took place, in Iran. They're out there, there's no Holocaust, there never was a Holocaust, that's what they're saying, and they have international meetings about it. And they threaten the world with terrorism, and the world accepts them, and the world does whatever it does. Purim, Rabbi Nosson of Breslov brings, what's the great miracle of Purim? If you read the Megillah, it reads like a regular story that happened in any country, or could happen in any country, right? You have the hero, you have the villain, you have the heroine, you have the wicked witch of the West. You have everything that's there, all the ingredients happen in almost every generation. Where is the miracle? I mean, along comes this Queen Esther. Mordechai did a favor for the king, so they got rid of the enemy, Haman, and everything's fine. Reb Nosson says no, because everything looks fine. Everything looks like it can happen naturally. The miracle of the Megillah, it's called Megillat Esther. Megillah is from the word legalot, to reveal. Esther is from the word hidden, right? The Megillas Esther, the story of Esther, is meant for us to reveal the greatness of Hashem, the miracles of Hashem, how He plans everything in advance, and how He takes care. He made sure that Vashti was gotten rid of. He made sure that Esther would take his place. He made sure that Mordechai would find a plot that they will be able to save the king, that the Jews were good to the kingdom and not the evil that Haman wanted to make them out. So Reb Nosson is explaining that the beauty of the miracle of Purim is that we are able to look for the guiding hand of Hashem. We're able to look for how Hashem runs the world, how He puts everything in place. Oh yeah, there's pain and suffering along the way, no question about it. Take a look then, imagine a whole nation, right, gets a notice that you're going to be wiped out next year at a certain day. The Holocaust is coming. Everyone is told and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Pain and suffering, people don't know what to do, the bewilderment. And yet, Mordechai stood fast. Mordechai told us that there's a way that we are going to be able to overcome all of this. We will conquer, we will come out winning, right? Just pray to Hashem. Pray to Hashem, put your powers into prayer. Pray again, you prayed, pray some more, pray some more, pray some more still. Keep on going, and Be'ez Hashem, we'll all see tremendous powers, tremendous Yeshuas, tremendous miracles. We see it today in Israel. In the land of Israel, we see, many years ago there was a terrorist act, and a refrigerator blew up in Kikar Tzion. It's in the center of town. And one of my Rashi yeshivas said then, he says, you'll notice the miracle of Hashem. True, there was a bombing. People got hurt. But do you have any idea how many times the Arabs plan things like this, day in, day out? Every single day they're trying to do this to us. And yet it doesn't happen as often as they want. And that's the miracle of Purim. The miracle of Purim is that Hashem is guarding over us. Hashem is watching us. Hashem is organizing things. We have to pray to Him so that the bombing stop, the killing stop, the Haman stop, Iran, Obama, and all the others that are planning the demise of the state of Israel, planning the demise of the Jewish nation, that all our enemies go by the way of all flesh, and you'll see that we're still here. Another 50 years, another 100 years, another 200 years, they're all gone. We're still here. That's the miracle of Purim. And that happens every single year. And may Hashem help that we understand this, that we believe this, and we recognize this. And if we do, we'll see it even more than we see it today. Thank you. Have a freilichen Purim. Really enjoy Purim. Don't get too inebriated, right? It's not good physically. It's not good for the kids around you, right? Enjoy. Drink a little. It's fine, right? But know what you're doing, okay? Have a freilichen Purim. Chag Sameach. Bye-bye.